Serious, I still can't see CP.
Yeah, I can't see Brian either, but I mean, I can't see Lee, so whatever.
You can see me.
Yeah, I can see. That's the most important part.
All right, we are live.
Still can't see CP.
Yeah, I can't see Brian either, but I mean, I can't see Lee, so
You can see me.
yeah, I can see. That's the most important part.
All right, we are live.
That was like a happy video.
I love
Don't always recognize me, not even my own face. I can't take the ups and downs, so I have to take these pills. You look just like me. I'm disconnected. I'm standing in the middle of nowhere, where nothing's real.
Here we go, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Scream Stream. It feels good to be back. I can see Brian. I can see CP, so that's good. I see Lindsay. How's everybody doing tonight? We'll go ahead and say a few hellos to the chat. Who's Will I Like It Reviews? We got Dennis K1979. What's up, Dennis? Blu-ray Addict, Renegade Hero, Patrick Holmes, Hayden McIntosh, Beth S. How are you doing, Beth? So many beautiful people in the chat tonight. Lindsay, how are you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. I don't have to put my kid down to sleep. I'm good.
That's awesome. And just so you guys know, this is the first. Hold on. This is an exclusive announcement. Lindsay, this is her first official member of Scream Stream. Last time she was a guest. This time she's official. She'll be in every episode. So we're happy to have her. And
Until you guys complain enough.
yes, once we start, we've already started complaining. So,
Whatever.
CP, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I don't know how the hell we're going to carry on without Cody. I mean,
I was just gonna mention Cody is on a date night tonight, and you don't wanna fuck that up. So
we did 16 episodes with the entertainment equivalent of a paperweight, but I think we'll be able to do it this time again.
I know it's tough because Cody is quite the talker, but we got this.
I love you, Cody.
Yeah, Brian, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, him.
Yeah, because Brian wasn't here with us last time, so let me delete this real quick. I'm working on the fly here. Okay, tonight we're gonna do free for all. But what I did was I put up some topics up there at the top right, some things that I think we should skim through really quick before we jump into the topics. First off, thanks everybody for all the topics on YouTube, on Killer Flicks. We got, oh my god. Did you guys get a chance to look at any of those?
Leroy, you got a phantom box there in the top right corner, which has some of my head. And never mind, it's gone. It's gone.
Yep, I saw it. That's why I was working on the fly.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyway, without further ado, first off, let's jump right into the list, okay? Lindsay, are you a fan of The Crow, the original Crow?
Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
Do we know anyone that really isn't a fan?
Well, I've
never met anyone.
I'm like, it's my second favorite movie of all time. That's how much.
Yes, we know that
Okay,
that and Halloween. We're aware, Lee.
I'm good. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I guess there's been this talk of a Crow remake for what now, like 10 years maybe. Just the thing, it stops and starts and stops and starts. So I guess officially yesterday they said, okay, we're done with this. CP, do you think we'll ever see a Crow remake?
Yes, in some fashion, even if they end up doing some sort of TV series or something.
Please don't do that.
Well, I'm just saying at some degree that they'll probably do it. Just whether or not they figure out how to do it is the question.
Yeah.
Crown the Empire with a $10 donation. Thank you. Highly glad I could make it in time. Always great seeing you live. By the way, sorry for rising your 47 meters down reviews. Guilty as charged. Watch it once 3 times a day. Oh, no question. All right, never mind. He's
the one that raised the views for my 47 meters down, because that's I just hit like 50,000 views on that review, which is something that's just weird, but it happens, I guess, to all of us. We get that one review that just skyrockets. I know Brian had one, didn't you, Brian? That just, I think it was it Arrival or something like that?
Yeah, I did an Arrival explained thing.
Yeah.
That just
Clickbait.
It just blew up.
Yeah, just absolutely. I just got to say, Blu-ray addict. I'm totally in agreement with you there, mate. There have been no sequels to The Crow. We have yet to get a sequel to The Crow.
I was kind of on board when there was the rumors of Luke Evans coming out.
Yeah.
This is before Beauty and the Beast.
That was like a minute.
Yeah, but
Momoa
I was intrigued.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I liked him in
he's
Dracula
got a great
Untold.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked him in No One Lives. He was so good in that.
I still haven't seen that, actually. I've been meaning to watch it. So. But yeah, and then there was another, the guy that was in Boardwalk Empire that had the disfigured
Are
face.
you okay, Lee?
I think so. What'd I do?
Is it puberty?
Your
It's happened
balls
a few
dropping,
times
man?
now.
Guys,
My
seriously,
balls just
stop.
dropped.
I think it's making him nervous.
I always get nervous around Brian. He's such a charmer.
Sorry.
So yeah, I mean the Crow remake, it's done. I don't know if they're ever going to get this thing off the ground. Part of me would like to see it, and part of me is happy that it's not happening. But you know, there's some great filmmakers out there. I think if you got a good story, which you already do, because James O'Barr's original is a classic, so I would still watch it. But it's just one of those properties that they just can't seem to get right. So
You know who I would get to do The Crow, and like a few people have scoffed at the idea of doing a TV series. I reckon do a TV series and bring in the people who did the first season of True Detective. Put them on The Crow.
I like it. That's why I brought Brian here. I like the way you
Is he
think.
our optimist?
Yeah. But yeah, I agree, Brian. I think that would be awesome. I mean, the first season of True Detective is amazing. So, and it's it's a detective type story about a murder. So yeah, I mean, I think you put those two together, I think it could work. So now we're gonna move on to Chucky. This has been in the news for like the last week. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they doing? They're wanting to do a TV series and a remake at the same time. Am I right on that, Lindsay?
That's every 5 minutes somebody was sharing something else, and it's hard to keep up. But as far as I understood was, yeah, like they wanted to like reboot and do a TV show. So I'm wondering where the rights really are, and
Yeah.
I would lean more towards maybe the TV show is going to be like a partial rights, and maybe it won't even include Chucky.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That would be weird.
Yeah.
And another big issue is Brad Dourif. CP, how do you feel about them replacing Brad Dourif as Chucky?
No. Nope. No.
Can't-
That's how I feel. Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Won't work.
It's just his voice. It's not like he needs to run around or anything.
Yeah.
It's just his voice. I think we discussed this a while ago, but
Yeah.
And there are some really talented like voice actors that can duplicate his voice, I'm sure, but they're not going to deliver the same way that Brad does. And that's something that you can't duplicate.
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, too, because if you try to copy his voice, you're going to freaking fall on your face. And then if you try to go too far out of the way, you're going to fall on your face as well. So, to me, yeah, it's just you can't win if you try to. I mean, because Brad Dourif was just, I would say, even more so than Robert Englund did for Freddy. I mean, he's Chucky. I don't know. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, totally the same. As far as I'm concerned, he is the thing about that franchise. Like, even when you've got a crap film in that franchise, Brad Dourif can make it entertaining.
Yeah.
And I love Brad Dourif. Like, even in supporting roles, when he pops up, he can just... He's one of them people, a bit like Christopher Walken, where when I see him come on, just like, he does something special. That even in a crap film, whatever part he's playing, even in a crap film, he elevates it.
Exorcist 3.
Was he in Exorcist 3? I didn't see Exorcist 3.
Well,
Brad Dourif?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Like, Exorcist 3, I don't remember him being in it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Airbag.
Yep.
The airbag.
I wrapped us around a tree. I apologize.
You did. I appreciate that, CP. That was awesome.
Wait, so do we know if the title is going to be Child's Play on the movie? Because it seems like a very Friday the 13th New Line Paramount thing. Because how could they literally split and do the same shit?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's why I was thinking like the TV show might just even be a namesake.
Yeah. They could do what they
Kind of
did.
thing, like what they did with the Friday the
13th.
13th.
Yeah.
Something smells like shit. I'm not buying that milk.
Yeah. Which was horrible. I think I tried to watch like half of an episode of the Friday the 13th TV series, and I threw up in my mouth. So
Nope.
yeah, I couldn't do it. Now, speaking of TV properties and horror crossing over from movies to TV, can you guys think of any that you did like?
Yeah, Bates Motel. Love it.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Bates Motel's amazing. Did you see the last season, Lindsay?
Yeah, don't say anything about it because I don't want to ruin. I'm not got there
I
yet.
haven't watched it. Don't worry, I won't spoil it for you, Brad.
The mother dies. Shh.
Son of a bitch.
I'll just say this: it's like Breaking Bad. It just gets better and better and better every season, and you're just like gripping onto your chair that last season. It's really good, and even though you know how it's going to end, they throw a lot of crazy things in there that you wouldn't have suspected, and I just love how it all plays out. It's great. So.
Well, it's that Australian movie. Sorry.
Some people are
Wolf
just
Creek.
mentioning Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah. That's a show I never got around to watching. I think I saw like the first episode, and that was it.
CP, are you thinking of Wolf Creek?
I've heard Wolf Creek is pretty good. They have a TV show that just started.
Yeah. Well, Sam Hain Slasher says Scream. That's the one I was thinking of. Scream 1 and 2, which was something I was completely against for the longest time. I finally, when I watched it, I actually was on board. I loved it. It's cheesy fun, but I thought they could have done a lot worse. And I like that it was in a kind of a different universe than the movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I liked Scream. It was good.
I was excited to see season 3 and them actually utilize like the original mask because that's what they were promising us for season 3.
Yeah.
And then with everything with the Weinstein.
Is that
issue.
why that fell
Womp
through?
womp.
Because of the Weinsteins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what pretty much everybody is assuming because you attach his name to anything and his name, like he owns so many rights to it, right? So
Well, I mean, weren't they shooting some of season 3 already?
I
Don't know? Yeah.
haven't talked to them.
Get them on the phone, Lindsay.
We can't
I'll
refrigerate
shot.
girls.
What the fuck?
Have any of you guys seen the From Dusk Till Dawn TV series?
Yes.
I think I saw like the first season. My wife was watching it, and I kind of jumped in there in the middle of it. It was interesting.
It was weird as hell, but I actually started to like really get into some of the characters in ways that I wasn't into those characters in the film.
Well, that's good.
Like the one brother I really, really liked, wherein like the movie, Tarantino, like he's like super creepy.
Yeah.
And he's kind of creepy in the show, but then he kind of becomes a little endearing and you really start to care for his character. I don't know, I really liked him.
Oh,
But he was
somebody
also
just
kind of
mentioned.
cute.
Somebody
Go
just
ahead, Brian.
mentioned in the chat as well, Hannibal, which I thought was
Ooh.
yeah.
really good.
Hannibal was really good.
I've not seen season 2 and 3 yet, but I thought what's his face who plays Hannibal?
Mikkelsen?
I actually think he is the best version of Hannibal.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa.
it gets pretty damn dark, that show.
Yeah. Like, I love Anthony Hopkins, but I never for a second believe that with the way that he acts in it that nobody knew, like whereas Mickelson in the TV show, you get how he could go unnoticed. You get, just
one little tidbit of news that I figured was worth discussing because it just came out was James Gunn being fired from Guardians of the Galaxy, so he will not be doing Guardians 3. CP, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, man?
The country needs to take it the fuck easy. Is what needs to happen. Fucking 10-year-old shit. Like, let's stop. Take it easy. If
that he's already apologized for him.
Yeah.
I think they said the guy that like accused him or something like that. I just kind of skimmed over the news, but he even had like worse tweets out there, and so it's like you're firing somebody when you did something just as bad, if not worse. And well, I mean, it was a comedians, and I know he's not like a straight up comedian, but people make tweets, and it's just like our nation can't recognize humor anymore. It's just weird. Everybody takes things so seriously.
I'm offended.
Yeah, offended. Yeah, and who's really offended? Is it the media that's offended, or Lindsay's offended?
Are you really, Lindsay?
No.
No.
Stupid whore. What are you talking about?
I know, right? How PC could I
He was
get?
talking to Brian.
Yeah, no, it's too much. For as much as like our United States is so split one way or another. Like this PC culture is what makes the left look obnoxious, getting just bent out of shape over the stupidest little thing, whether it be 15 years ago in passing, in satire. Like if I did a children's show in 10 years, I'd be fired within weeks if they found stuff from today. It's just.
Wasn't it even, didn't he wrote it before the first Guardians, right? Like this is something from like 6 years ago.
This was something from years ago.
9 years ago, I think.
Yeah. And he's so well liked in the community, and there are people that have signed on to those films just because he's attached to them. And I would not be surprised if people that aren't necessarily in contract refuse to take part in them as well if he's not attached to them.
No, I'm not being funny either, but like if they'd have actually gone back and seen his back catalogue before letting him make Guardians of the Galaxy, there's things in Super that are far more offensive than Heart.
Dawn of the Dead is really dark too with the humor. He wrote that.
Oh, he wrote Dawn
the
of the
remake.
Dead. Okay.
The remake.
Yeah, I mean he's got a comedic flair to his writing. So I just
I'm offended that these people are offended.
Yeah. But and plus I don't really want to watch a Guardians 3 without him directing. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the second one, it's still his baby. So it annoys the shit out of me that you don't let him finish his trilogy. It's not like he did what Victor Salva did,
Oh, here we go. It's a fine line. It's just like let's not go down this road.
Yeah.
Now Pat Bro says let Taika Waititi direct Guardians 3, which could be interesting, but I mean he was great for Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was good,
Yeah,
and
it
it
was really
finally
good.
made Thor funny, which was good.
That was exactly what that little sub franchise needed, because Thor 1 and 2 are like, arguably the worst of the whole franchise. So the third
And
one,
I enjoy them because I have the eye candy.
There you go.
So it's easy to win me over, but when you see all the other franchises compared to their source material, there's a closer connection with the humor and like the lowbrow stuff, and albeit there's some like sexual stuff thrown in, like underbrow sort of thing, and they totally gloss over that with the first two Thor movies, and I felt like they got a better hold on it with Ragnarok, and I really, really love that movie.
It's so fun, and it's cool. It's cool that like it seems like a little bit of that from Ragnarok bled over into Infinity War, because
I don't want to talk about
Thor stole the show. Have you seen Infinity War yet?
Yes.
Of course you have. Okay. Oh, Lindsay's gonna get upset, but
I am.
I think Thor stole the show in Infinity War. He was like one of the best characters in the whole movie. And there's a lot of characters in that movie, so yeah. Brian, any thoughts before I go on to the next one?
Well, I've actually been thinking that Thor's been stealing the show since the first Avengers, to be honest.
Oh.
If you go back and watch those first 2 Avengers films, the funniest bits in it are always with Thor. For me, personally. And I do actually... Yeah, I like the first 2 Thor films more than most. I recognise they're not the best out of the whole franchise, but I do actually think they're better than people give them credit for, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think some of it though was like it was humor at the expense of Thor. Whereas in Ragnarok, it's more he's kind of making the jokes.
Yeah. I get that. The thing with the first Thor film is I think Kenneth Branagh had a much harder task because it was the first time we went off-world. It was the first time we had to go to a completely kind of alien culture, so to speak, and mythical stuff, and bringing that into the Marvel universe, whereas all the other films that had been around Thor at that time, they were based on Earth. They were much more grounded, as a comic book movie can be. So yeah, I think Branagh did a really good job with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, go CP.
So Dino drops in a $2 donation. Thank you, Dino.
Yep.
He says, so hyped for Glass. Now that looked great. I guess we can segue into that, Lee. But just a thing for the chat. If you're going to spam messages, you're going to be putting a timeout. Just a warning.
There you go.
And that's me saying that, not Lisa's.
I dropped my my earbud.
Oh, so you didn't even hear me.
So CP, did you see? Now I know Lindsay. Now let me ask Lindsay this first. What did you think of Unbreakable? Did you enjoy it, or is it a movie that you don't really care about?
Oh no, it's Bruce Willis for one.
Yep.
But yeah, no, when it came out, it was my best friend Mike's favorite movie, and we watched it. Oh God, I honestly could not count for you how many times we watched it during the course of like one summer.
Oh yeah, it's
and
so good.
I think I just, because like I liked it and I love Bruce Willis, but I kind of got burnt out on it myself. So I haven't watched it in the longest time, and it's already been, spoiler alert, like people have already kind of told me about Split.
So you already know about Split then, right?
Oh yeah, no, I know that it's like in the same universe or whatever, so
yeah.
Go ahead, whatever. John already watched it without me, so.
Okay,
jerk.
So bouncing back over to CP then, you've watched the new trailer, right, for Glass?
I have not.
Oh my God, you haven't? Okay, well I guess it just came out, so I can't.
Yeah, I was washing my nether region while you were putting up the good stuff.
There's nothing like a clean nether region.
Were you thinking of Lee while you were doing
Of course, I was like, oh, he must be doing a reaction video right now, and I went right in the shower to make sure.
I did a reaction video because I was like, I gotta react to this because I'm gonna flip my. If it's a trailer that I'm gonna flip my shit like Halloween, or if it's a fan film and that I feel passionate about and I want to support that, then I'll do a reaction. You know, I'm not one of those that I'll do a reaction for everything. And Glass was one of those movies like I have to do a reaction for that movie just because it's one of my most anticipated. And let me just say that the trailer did not freaking disappoint. Wow, Brian, what did you think of that trailer?
Oh man, awesome! Just like I wasn't expecting to see this tonight. Like literally, I was talking with Lee about like messaging him on Facebook. When we're going on, you're going to send me you're going to call me or whatever. And then he literally just said, "The Glass trailer's out." And I'm like, "Really? What is it? Is it on YouTube?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so that was it. I was gone. I watched it twice, back to back. Man alive! Yeah. I love
wow.
You sound like me.
That was a very well put together trailer. Because it focuses, there's enough time on all three characters throughout the trailer. Yeah. Opens up with this like psychiatrist talking to all three members.
Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, Sarah Paulson. And wow, just I'm not going to say too much about the trailer because Lindsay and CP haven't seen it yet.
So it opens up in a psychiatrist's office and wow. It's just 2 minutes.
Stuff happens.
Whoa.
He wears a t-shirt sometimes.
Bruce
Willis has some scruff going, Lindsay, so you wouldn't believe it. It's insane.
Oh, I'm in. All in now.
There you go.
That's all I needed.
Anya Taylor-Joy is back as well in the trailer, so I didn't know if we were going to bring her back or not, and I'm really glad they have. It just seems like they're putting everything from these movies into it, and yeah, just some of the action as well in the trailer looks like it's been really well handled. It doesn't look okay, like some of the stuff that James McAvoy's character's doing. When you do, like, I've seen them do some of the stuff he's doing in this trailer in the X-Men films, and when they've done it in the X-Men films, it's kind of looked a little bit hokey. But here, it looks like they've executed it brilliantly. So yeah, could not be more excited for this.
Yeah, so that's our thoughts on the, or I guess me and Brian's thoughts on the Glass trailer. But now, I put Unfriended, even though I know that I'm probably the only one that's seen the new Unfriended movie. Am I correct on that, guys?
No, you have not. I've seen it, sir, and you are drunk.
You liked it?
Again, yes.
All right. What did you like about it?
Wow.
It has the feel of a gimmicky movie, like going in.
Right.
But it has like everything that it does, like with character introduction, they pay off. Like a certain somebody's girlfriend has some sort of deficiency, and they use that to a certain advantage at the end of the movie. There's a bunch of things that like they set up and pay off, and it seems within the realm of possibility. Where the first Unfriended was, a ghost in the computer like that. Okay, but this feels like something. It felt like, I'm stealing Cody's definition or his description of it. It feels like Unfriended meets Hostel, and it's. I was shocked. I was shocked that I was expecting something gimmicky, and it actually was a well-made movie. And
so did you like the first one?
I did.
Oh, okay. So you put it in the same category as the first one?
I think I like it more, to be honest.
Because I didn't like the first one.
It's got a, like, listen, it has a similar spine, but it goes in a different direction. It doesn't feel very ghosty. Like, they explain why people are being interfered with, and it's done. Oh
yeah, I get, like, the premise is kind of, it's the only thing that really keeps it in common is that they're all on an online chat like we are right now.
Yeah.
But
we could be making our Unfriended movie right now.
Oh, can we?
That would be so much fun. I would be the final girl.
Somebody's gonna come behind CP and choke him. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, CP, you're the first to go. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the comic relief always has to.
That's a good segue into what I didn't like about it. First off, what I did like about it was the main character and his deaf girlfriend. Those were the two things that I
was trying to avoid saying that part, but okay.
What's that?
Yeah, the deaf girlfriend part. I didn't know if that was a spoiler or not, but okay.
No, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, that's established
at
the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I apologize.
I mean, a relationship, okay? I mean, that's not like earth-shattering or anything. But I liked the back and forth.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, I liked the back and forth between them. But my problem was, and I was talking about, the kills in this movie felt so freaking contrived and just it didn't feel real to me. That was my problems with this movie. Every single kill either felt A, unreal, or B, fake as hell. Like, you could tell the CG, like, for instance, and this is in the trailer, the subway scene. You could tell that somebody, like, cut and pasted two bodies in front of that subway, and it just, I don't know, I like realism in my horror movies. I like Evil Dead remake is a great example. That shit felt real. I felt blood hitting me in the face. This, maybe I should have taken my brain out and put it in a different brain in my head, because this was not what I wanted out of a horror movie at all. I did like the best thing about it, though, was the characters, at least the main character and his girlfriend. I actually dug their relationship and how he was trying to constantly get her to come to him. That was good stuff to me. But everything outside of that, even his friends in the chat, and also, I'll go ahead and say this, elephant in the room, this is a PC-friendly movie if I ever seen one. No pun intended. It's like they checked every box that you had to check for a demographic. We got the gay couple. We got the black person. We got the white person. We got the Asian person. Every single box is checked in this movie, and it just
British
doesn't feel natural. I hate when movies do that.
Wait, that's exactly our demographic right now.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
What's going on?
Which one are you, CP?
There's not a single gay person in this
I'm the
show,
gay
which
one.
That's great if you're gay. That's fantastic. But I'm just saying,
Listen.
there's 4 white people in this. So,
I'm concerned
yeah.
if Lee really didn't like this movie that he's getting this passionate about it. Like, this is, I'm sorry, CP, but this is the one that likes the ice cream truck.
Oh
and
my
he
God!
hates
Here
it
we
so
go.
much.
Here we go.
No, I mean, like, when I think of something and I'm like, okay, CP is usually a little bit harder on films, and, like, Lee usually gives it, like, the benefit of the doubt sort of stuff.
Right.
But hearing you not like it this much, I'm like, oh, this thing, it's just going to sink. I'm barely going to get through the opening credits.
Cody loved it.
Cody loved it. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but Cody doesn't even like Freddy's Dead.
Oh, right.
I don't
I'm
know.
going to rewatch this later.
How dare I speak?
Send me hate mail.
Yeah, I don't know. Where do you have it, Lee? Is it your least favorite horror of the year?
No. The Truth or Dare is still 10 times worse than this one.
Ah, man alive.
Truth
What?
or Dare was horrible.
No, it wasn't. It's like
Ryan.
talk about an
Brian.
overreaction.
Every
Look,
time I
it
saw
ain't-
that
it
stupid
ain't a
face,
flipping
it completely took
masterpiece.
me out of the
I
movie.
accept.
Ryan, Justice League #1. Truth or Dare #2. You need to tip the a little bit there, buddy.
Yeah,
Truth or Dare is bad.
it's bad. It's
Yeah,
really
I didn't
bad.
put Justice League at my number one.
No, I'm saying #1, that's your biggest mistake. #2 is Truth or Dare.
Yeah. Truth or Dare ain't a classic. I will openly admit, but some of the crap that film is getting, and yet everybody gave Happy Death Day a free pass, like it was the best.
I didn't like
didn't.
Happy Death Day at all.
So, yeah, Truth or Dare was fun. I had fun with it. It didn't go anywhere that 1,000 other horror films haven't been before, but I enjoyed it. It passed time pretty entertainingly. Compared to some crap that I've seen, like.
So it's just above Truth or Dare for you, Lee. There's nothing below Unfriended as far as horror is concerned.
I haven't actually put it on my
Okay.
Letterboxd list yet, so
All right.
I don't know. But it's
Okay.
definitely in the bottom 5, maybe 6, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's
Right.
my thing though, with I feel like I get passionate about movies that I love and movies that I hate, and in the middle it's just like, because there's things about Unfriended Dark Web that I hated, but there's a couple things I told you what I liked about it, but the things that are bad are really bad to me. Like, I was just like, I hate that in my horror movies. I actually like the premise though. I think there were a couple moments during the movie where it did feel kind of like creepy in a different way, for obvious reasons, because the whole thing takes place on a laptop. So it did make me curious to go back and watch the first one. I will say that.
Yeah, they're kind of different movies though. They're different movies with similar premises.
Like, I definitely want to watch the first one now after watching this, just to see if the first one's, because there was potential there. You know what I mean? Like, they could have, like, it made me think of Blair Witch Project and how they delivered on the death and the tension and all that stuff.
I would say the similar pacing too. Like the first act, it's just the dude and his girlfriend. And I remember at one point I was looking at my watch, like, is this really a horror? Like, what's going on here?
I like the pacing of it. The pacing was good, but the execution, no pun intended, was not on par for me. I don't know. Lindsay, do you like really bloody horror, or does it matter?
I like it all.
Yeah.
I'm not, to take a page out of Cody's book, I'm not, like, it doesn't have to have the carnage candy.
Right.
I'm good, like, implied horror. Like, I always think, like, Alfred Hitchcock sort of horror, where he liked to imply more things because he thought it was more terrifying for you not to see it and to create it in your imagination. But I don't know, I also do love it. Like, I love the Hatchet films just based on that. Like, the storyline, I could not tell you right now what the plot of those movies actually is. And I've watched them numerous times. I own the scripts, all of them signed by Adam Green, but
that's cool.
I don't even care about the plot. It's all about the special effects for me.
I think for me it's about the characters, and like the Carnage Candy is like a big bonus. Like, I do like Carnage Candy if I'm really, really invested in the characters, which is kind of why I like the Evil Dead remake, because right away they set it up where you got this drug addict and we have to keep her in the cabin. And as soon as the scary stuff started happening, I was already on board. I really loved Jane Levy in that. So I guess for me, yeah, it's about the characters. I guess Terrifier is a good example of a movie where I just could not get into the characters at all, and maybe that's my downfall of that movie, because there's some great freaking kills in that movie. Some of the best of the year. I will give it that. One of the most inventive
don't you ever go to watch? Don't you ever go to watch a horror movie and like you don't really even want a plot? You just want like crazy kills and obscenities and mindless entertainment.
Yeah,
because I do that sometimes.
Checks that box for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to think. I just need mindless entertainment.
Yeah. That's kind of why I want to watch Terrifier again.
Don't laugh at me, CP.
I'm with you. What are we talking?
Every now and then I think.
I'm the Friday guy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Brian, what's your take on that? Do you like gore in movies first and foremost, or in horror movies, or what? I think I know your answer on this one, but go ahead.
Yeah, story and character. So if you ain't got story and character, you ain't got
shit.
You ain't got yeah. No, I love movies like Silence of the Lambs. You know, like where so much is devoted to story and character. But then, and then when you get like a really violent scene, like with Hannibal kind of, you know, biting that guy's tongue out and whatnot, it hits harder because you become so invested in these characters and that it hits harder. So I like a combination of the two. When it's gore just for the sake of gore, and you're setting up these characters, you know, like a whole host of characters which are literally there as cannon fodder, then the gore kind of loses some of the impact that it would have if you cared about those characters. Like you look at Psycho, going back to Hitchcock, you know, there's no gore when Marion Crane gets killed, but it has impact even today because you've become so invested in this character that when you see her getting killed, it pains you. It pains you to see her to get taken out like that. So, you know, you add gore to that, it wouldn't necessarily change the emotional response.
Wouldn't really need it.
Has anybody seen 7852?
No.
It's a documentary about the shower scene.
Oh.
78-52. Yeah, it's good.
I still
think saw it, I guess.
I think the shower scene is still one of the greatest scenes in horror history.
Yeah, somebody should have done a YouTube video about it.
I was just going to say, I didn't need to watch that documentary because I watched a certain YouTube video about it. So
your check's in the mail, sir.
I haven't watched it. I just went in long enough to give it a thumbs down, and I left.
3 minutes! Yeah, I don't blame you.
Lindsay, do you like polarizing movies? Do you like movies that create a big discussion where like half the audience loves them and half the audience hates them? Or do you like to jump out of that conversation?
It depends on which side I'm on and the audience in which I'm discussing it with.
Yeah, you know where I'm getting at, don't you?
Yeah. Like, I can have a conversation with you guys, and like the last Scream stream, me and Brian completely disagreed about one movie, but I felt that when I was talking to him about it and I was bringing up points, and he would even say, like, okay, and I see your point there, and then he would kind of counter it, sort of thing. Yeah. And that's how you have an intelligent discussion. That's how you have a civilized discussion. Yeah. And sometimes there are certain people that get very incredibly defensive about certain films, and that's when I just kind of...
Yeah, have you seen my comment section?
Yeah, I just exit conversations at that point, because I'm like, if you can't act like an adult and just have a regular, and just accept that maybe I just don't like a film because I just don't like it, then all right, we're good.
Yeah. Wait, without naming names, can you give us an example, Liddy? Where you were going with that?
Yeah, where I was going with that was we were having a discussion about the movie It Follows, and it got kind of what's the word I'm looking for, Lindsay? It just got kind of uncomfortable, I think, for her, because I think opinions were being pushed on her, and I think everybody, including myself, was a big fan of the movie, and she wasn't, and she was trying to state her case, but then she was getting pounced on just over and over, And I kind of stepped out of that conversation because at the time I didn't realize that Lindsay was kind of being affected by it. But after thinking about the situation, I understand why she was. And I get that. I don't like when I, give my opinion on something and then people just, you're an idiot for thinking that. I think that.
Well, you are.
Unless it's CP, of course.
And I say you're drunk. I don't think I call you an idiot. That's a little hard.
I mean, that's why I have the people I have in Scream Stream, because me and Cody probably disagree on what 75% of, not 75, but we disagree on a lot of movies, but we have never had an argument about a movie, not once. Me and CP, we argue every stream.
You got it.
It's so adorable watching you guys go back and forth.
Yeah, we go back and forth. And Cody usually wins the argument, but it's okay.
The thing is, you don't need to argue. If you get to a point where you're arguing like that, then all that is insecurity about your own opinion. Yeah. It's like I'm secure enough in my own opinion about something to not let someone else's opinion get me so enraged that I mean, like, it's not to say I don't get enraged by certain things, like Get Out, being nominated for nearly 5 Oscars, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, I think great films sometimes affect people in different ways. Some people aren't gonna like It Follows like other people like it. I mean, there are things about It Follows, especially in the last act, that kind of take a left turn for some people. So, and not everybody's gonna grab onto that, and I respect.
Well,
that.
and I think like it doesn't even have to get to like argument's sake. It's just like respecting somebody's opinion and like, for instance, sometimes you can make jokes if you understand that like the other person knows that you're joking about it.
Right.
I.e., Jason Takes Manhattan.
Know your audience. Yeah. You were wrong about that, by the way, Lindsay.
I know, but that
No,
everybody always does the same thing, so I had to do it.
Yeah. No, I love that you go and it's like me going and defending Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I've gotten so many freaking comments on that video saying you're a freaking idiot for thinking this. Mm-hmm. But I like that. I like defending a movie that I'm passionate about. Anthony
Super
T.
chat.
Thank you so much, sir. It seems now that the audience roots for the killer and kills like Jason. Let me scroll up here just a sec.
Jason Michael, when I first saw Halloween, everyone was rooting for Laurie to win, but now it seems like everyone has flipped. Roots the other way. Any thoughts?
That's actually a good topic of discussion, because it seems like everybody's like Michael Myers crazy right now. And it seems like all the other characters are an afterthought. They just want to see Michael win, even. I mean, everybody's like, please don't kill Michael. So, yeah, I mean, it's
they do remember he's the bad guy, right?
What's that, Lindsay?
They do remember he's the bad guy, right?
I know, it doesn't matter. He's just so awesome.
I don't even think it's that they want to see Michael win. I think when you set up a villain like that, you need to set up a hero to go with him. Like you got Sherlock Holmes and you have a Moriarty. Every Moriarty needs a Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Every Joker needs a Batman. And if you don't give that villain their equal and a hero, then there's no one really left to root for, because someone needs to come back in the sequel. If you're a fan of those characters, you want a sequel. So if you don't have a hero to match your villain, you're kind of left with no choice but to root for the villain. So like bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back for Halloween 2018, I think I think people are going to be rooting for her in this film. They're not going to be sat there watching the new Halloween film thinking, oh, I really hope Michael Myers wins this fight, because they've brought back essentially his arch nemesis, and I think this is a point where they'll root for her and not for him.
I would root more for Loomis, even though Loomis would be way too old at this point, but
yeah,
and or dead.
Yeah. So there's no Loomis. And I think that's one thing that I'm gonna be missing from this movie when I'm watching it. I'm gonna be like, man, I wish Loomis was in that scene, But maybe Laurie will make up for it, because she's gonna be the new Loomis. So good. But now we're gonna jump into what we promised here. We're gonna talk about your topics, your questions. Did you guys get a chance to scan over any of the questions and see any that you liked? I'm gonna pull up the page right now.
There was hundreds, Lee.
I know there were literally hundreds. So
is it
gone?
If you hear it again, it's probably my mic. It's for some stupid reason when I charge my laptop. It was like crackling,
It
right?
sounds like running water.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, that could be the air conditioner. Sorry.
That's your air conditioner?
You see, if you didn't say anything, Brian wouldn't have even noticed. But since I said something's running in the room, Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You want me to leave?
Oh, do not even start.
He's got OCD about noises.
Oh,
See, I'm
no.
so scared to like touch my headphones. They're just kind of like hanging down in front of me because if I touch it, it makes the noise. So I'm just like leaning.
Yeah, you want to get Brian amped up. Just fiddle with your microphone.
Oh, yeah. He
Your,
doesn't like
your
that.
microphone, I said. He's mumbling to himself.
I got the questions pulled up. We're going to start with killer flicks, all right? And I'm not going to do every question, but I think I went through them and I commented on the ones that I thought were like really good. I mean, all of them are good topics of discussion, but the ones that really stuck out to me, I went ahead and commented. So I'll start with this one. And what I'll do is I'll just ask like one of you the question, and then if another one of you wants to jump in, yeah, go for it. So, what subgenre of horror do you think stands the best chance of making a comeback? Lindsay, what do you think about that?
Slasher, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the obvious answer there. I mean, I think we're poised for
Especially with Halloween coming out, I feel like if Halloween does well, it could kind of like greenlight a lot of other slasher films to kind of make a comeback. It's what's always like tried, tested, and true, right? Like it's what the masses usually tend to flock to.
Oh yeah, I get so excited when the slasher genre makes a big comeback. I mean, there's little comebacks here and there, but Scream was the big one.
Yeah, like the 90s did well.
Yeah, it did. You had a good run there for a few years of slashers. Mm-hmm. So if Halloween's a big hit, I'm really hoping for a new Nightmare movie, actually. Just because that's my second favorite of all the of the franchises. So I mean, Brian, any thoughts on that? Do you think it's is there any other subgenre of horror that you would like to see make a comeback?
I'd really like to see monster movies.
Oh yeah,
like proper monster movies, like the Universal stuff. Like they tried with Wolfman, which I thought was pretty underrated. Tried with a Mummy, which
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
I want to see a good,
I love a good monster movie. Hey, we got a new Godzilla movie coming out. I thought they were going to do Godzilla versus King Kong first.
They are, aren't they?
No, the trailer just dropped for the new Godzilla.
The trailer dropped?
It's King of Monsters, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's got Kong in it.
Oh, does it? I haven't seen it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, King of the Monsters has Kong in it. Okay.
Yeah, and he's all burping fucking electricity into the sky. I've seen the poster. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't think there's been a trailer yet, has there?
I think there has.
There has? Okay,
I think so.
After this.
Dude, San Diego. When San Diego's going on, you got to keep your finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Because they dropped that shit.
Lindsay, did you like monster movies when you were a kid?
Oh, definitely. But I think granted, I wasn't around when like the original Wolfman came out, like you. But yeah. I do like. And I'm so almost like embarrassed about this, but like some of like the monster movies that I grew up with that I enjoy are also the really, really bad ones.
Yeah.
So like the Critters movies.
Oh, there you go, Brian. That's Brian's bag. He loves Critters.
I love those, and I love like the practicality of them, and like I love stuff when it involves stop motion and like animatronics and stuff like that. And I don't even like. And I keep bringing it up, and I swear to God, I'm not obsessed with this movie. But Zombievers, the beavers were so bad, but like they were meant to be that way, and the purity of them. I loved that, and I hate seeing the CGI stuff. And if they're going to do monster movies and they do CGI, I'm signing out immediately.
Yeah, I don't like CGI.
John
John
Kyle
Kyle Stanton, thank you, good sir, for that nice donation. He wants to know if we've ever seen Race with the Devil from 1975 with Peter Fonda. Anybody?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
Huh. Well,
Sorry.
it's funny that he mentions 1975 because 76 was King Kong, and that was like my first big monster movie, the King Kong with Jessica Lange. I fell in love with that movie. So, but I haven't seen Race with the Devil, but I will definitely look into that one. Sounds interesting. Peter Fonda is a great actor, so yeah. We'll go over to the next question now. Let's see. What do we got here?
Are you gonna direct it at somebody else? Because I'm just gonna.
Yeah, go right ahead. I'll give this one to CP. Okay.
Oh, give it.
You got it.
I'll take whatever you give me.
This is a good one. Do you think Halloween will open in 1978 or have any 78 flashbacks? Super curious about that. I mean, obviously we don't know that answer, but it's definitely a worthy topic of discussion. CP, is that something you'd like to see, like flashbacks from the 78 version in the new movie?
No.
No?
No. Listen, you're asking the wrong guy. Based on what we've seen, I'm kind of working backwards, but considering the trailer, that how the granddaughter does the whole, the backward storyline telling,
Yeah.
that should be enough. It would almost seem repetitive to me. Again, like Lindsay said, I'm a little harder on this stuff then.
Yeah.
And again, it's Halloween. It's not Friday the 13th, so.
Yeah, I agree. If it fits in the scene, if there's a scene that it would benefit the scene to harken back to a scene from the original, then yeah, I would actually love that. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it should just be there for fan service.
I don't know what it'd achieve. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it would be kind of jarring for timeline's sake, right?
Yeah. Well, I will say
the trailer alone has brought us up to date,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't see what adding anything from a flashback could do that would bring us any more up to date. So,
if I had to say yes, I'd say that opening scene would be cool if it started in 78. Just something real quick. Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies. What's up, man? He's donated $5. Thank you very much. He says, if you were killed in a horror movie, how would you die? Don't apologize for a small donation. I mean, that's very nice of you. So if we were killed in a horror movie, how would you die? That's a good question. Brian, what do you think? How would you like to die in a horror movie?
such a bizarre question, really. I would like a jet plane engine to fall on my head.
Wow.
Dang. That's balls out. Okay. Lindsay?
It would be immediately, and probably investigating like a stupid noise or something like that, like something that you've seen 9,000 times in a horror movie, and you say, "Don't go out there, you dumb bitch."
Guys, this isn't funny.
That would be me.
Okay.
I would do that.
What about you, CP?
Well, however Shelley died in Friday 3, right?
No.
I guess you could bring that around to your favorite kills. I guess I think if I died in a horror movie, I'd like to die in a really grand fashion. So I don't know. Joey's kill from part 4 of Nightmare would be a fun one, I guess. So yeah, that's my answer.
Which one's Joey? I don't remember their names.
Joey's the mute.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
waterbed kill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, mine wouldn't be glorious at all.
No.
Unless anybody was watching, because I'm positive I'd probably be like in like a towel or something stupid.
Yeah. Now let me ask you guys this, just to expound on that. Which killer would you like to kill you?
None of them.
None of fine. Cody. Cody says, "Mom." Oh yeah, he's right. You're supposed to be cosplaying as Cody.
Yeah.
Miss May.
Yeah, I was just responding. Yeah, no. Lee knows this, or anybody who's like on my Facebook knows this. We lost power like for like 5-6 hours or something
Yeah.
like that. So, really?
Really?
As if you'd have to reach that high.
Touche. Yes.
Touche.
But no, like, and I was going to use like coffee grounds and everything, and no,
Didn't do it.
what wasn't going to happen. Like, I'm in my pajamas. I've been in them all day.
It's like prison
So
cell
I'm
colors.
sorry. Well, no, it's pink and blue.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what kind of prison you
I
want
see
to go
black
to,
and
Lee.
gold, definitely
A
coffee.
pink and blue prison, obviously.
It's white and gold.
Yeah. So Lindsay, you never answered. Who would you want to kill you?
I don't know.
Okay.
A monster of some sort.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Like,
CP?
if I'm going to go out, like, I want to be shredded.
Yeah. CP?
Craven.
What do you say?
I said Wes Craven. Is the thing crackling? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Scream?
Scream?
Airbag?
Yeah, I don't know. Put Jason just to get an autograph first.
Yeah. Well, you know mine. I'm going Michael Myers. Michael Myers.
No.
Myers. I'd go with the Predator. If I was calling it, I'd go
Ooh,
with the
that'd be a
Predator.
good one.
Ooh, there you go,
Oh,
Brian.
Yeah,
yeah.
Predator.
I want to change.
Yeah.
Alien.
Just to see those 3 red dots. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to be like the person that's Brian saving, that's just half dead over his shoulder while that happens.
Yeah.
Just so
want
you can
to
see
use
me
Xenomorph.
get killed.
Okay, sure. You went dark with it, but okay.
Speaking of Predator, I just watched Predator 2. I
Yeah.
reviewed it.
Yeah.
There's some interesting things about Predator 2, actually.
Not the beginning. Not the beginning.
Let me think of what was the beginning.
Oh, like the shootout in the city that was like way too 80'd up.
Oh yeah, I like the beginning. It's it's just like it sets the tone. Like this is gonna be a fucking crazy ass ride.
It's cluttered. It's cluttered.
Chat.
Blake G just donated $2. He said, "What trope are you sickest of seeing in horror?" I guess mine would be like bad jump scares. I'm sick of bad jump scares. That's my answer. Brian?
Brian, you do realize we talk about horror quite often.
What the hell?
I do, but man, it's just the thing is, a lot of the tropes you see in horror films, you kind of expect them, and in many ways want them.
They're needed.
So, like without them, you kind of feel a bit lost. But I think I do have to say the same. Jump scares really annoy me. There's so few of them that are actually used properly and effectively. They're just like, you can watch a film, you can watch a horror film, and like, oh, you get loads of scary moments because they're all jump scares.
Yeah.
You watch that film a second time, it's
Yeah.
dead to you. There's no effect from it anymore. It's gone. It's a one-time watch.
That was kind of my problem with Unfriended. I hated the freaking kills, and it wasn't jump scare. Well, I guess it was a lot of jump scares, but yeah, I mean, I hate an ineffective kill, I guess. Or another thing is I hate it when they just to save budget, they just cut away. I hate that too. So, Lindsay.
I agree with you, Lee. I do not like jump scares whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I think if I were to like do away with like one, I would do away with all of them.
Okay.
And I would love to see a horror movie where if you're, well, we've already seen it with Cherry Falls or whatever it is, you just reviewed it, but like if you're the virgin, you die.
Yeah.
If you
Subvert
stay in a group,
expectations.
you die. If you go off on your own, you're safe. Like everything that you're not supposed to do is what keeps you alive, sort of thing. Like the slutty girl is the final girl. Like
Yes.
I like that.
everything that's unpredictable, because all of those tropes, if you lose one, you kind of have to do away with all of them if you're going to disregard 50, 60 years of
Preach.
rules.
Preach.
That's one thing I loved about Cherry Falls. I mean, you had to have sex to survive. That's an awesome premise to me.
The way they
And
went
it's
about
so-
that was a little corny.
Yeah, a little bit. The
But-
execution was kind of bad, but still,
But I
I
liked
still
the
had a
idea
great
behind
time with it.
But that film doesn't so much do away with the trope as acknowledge it and kind of tackle it head on
and
in
plays
the
with
face.
it, you know. Yeah. Same with It Follows. It Follows uses, you know, like Macon Monroe's character in that movie is not a very, you know, good girl, I guess you could say, for lack of a better
Rosamund.
phrase. Yeah. So
Well, no, she was a good girl, and she gives it up once, and that's supposed to be an underlying message to it. And
yeah, I mean, she wasn't like, you know, an
accept
angel.
that.
She wasn't perfect or anything, you know. But I see what you're saying, Lindsay. You're right. She was a good girl. So yeah, we are in 2015, I guess, is when that movie came out. So
Choices.
yeah, I think there's differences in today's actresses and actors than there were back in like the, you know, like 78. Like Laurie Strode is, oh my God, she's almost like Mother Teresa. So
Lee, completely off topic. Do you know what subgenre that movie that takes place in the amusement park is that's coming out later this year? Hell Ride
Hell-
or whatever the fuck,
I think it's Hell Ride or something like that.
or something like that. Hell
Yeah.
something.
That looks
Do you know what-
interesting.
Do you know what subgenre it is?
I want to say slasher, but I'm not. I'll have to watch the trailer again because I don't remember
Okay.
100%. But it looks fun. Maybe psychotic horror, something like
Okay.
that. Like The Loved Ones. Maybe a little
I haven't seen that. I heard really good things
Dude, I
about it.
freaking love
The
them.
loved ones.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you seen that,
Lola.
Lindsay?
I love Lola.
Yeah, Lola
Love
is
her
one of my favorite like horror icons of the last 10 years. I love
Hellfest.
I
Thank
love
you.
her in that. So good.
Renegade Hero dropped in with Hellfest. That's correct.
Hellfest, that's it. Thank you, Renegade Hero. Okay, I'll go on to the next question then. Let's see. Go down.
Tommy Jarvis didn't always have a girl, unless you count his sister.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. This one's from. Oh, you know what? And quick shout out to Bradley Mills and Blake Gardner, who asked that first question, and then the next question was from Brendan Teague. So just to give them a shout out. But this next one I like is from Courtney Calcutt from Killer Flicks. Best score or soundtrack for a horror film? We could have a lot of fun with that one. Brian, go ahead.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Don't you dare. I know what you're thinking.
I see. There's bits of music in It Follows that I like, but I wouldn't necessarily say the whole soundtrack, because there's a difference between hearing the soundtrack when it's in the film
Yeah.
and playing it as a CD, you know, on its own.
Right.
I've often found that, you know, pieces of music have struck me in films, and I'm like, oh, I've got to listen. Like one of the biggest examples was Drive, the soundtrack to that film.
Oh yeah.
I watched it and I thought, oh, this has got an incredible soundtrack. So I bought the soundtrack. And I'm not kidding. First 3 tracks on that, or the first few tracks are okay, and the rest of the soundtrack is dull as nuts when you listen to it on its own.
How dull are nuts?
Oh.
Pretty dull. Pretty
How
dull.
are nuts?
Especially if they're not salted, you know? But,
Oh, those kind of nuts.
yeah.
Ashley
Unsalted.
October,
Get your
Strangers
head out
Pray
of
at
the gutter.
Night. Thank you.
So yeah, so It Follows has got a track that stands out. I like the Shining soundtrack, I think, and I think that's probably got a lot to do with the fact that Kubrick always used classical pieces and stuff, and he stays within that kind of framework for it. But yeah, like those opening bars from The Shining, and also Bernard Herrmann's score for Psycho,
You fuck.
still a classic.
Unadulterated
No.
fuck. How many soundtracks are you going to take, you jerk?
Are we supposed to be picking a soundtrack or a score?
Either or.
Either or.
Oh.
Cody Leach said Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Thank you very much. That is one of the most underrated scores I've ever heard. So I had to give.
Oh
Cody
yeah,
a
you
shout
hear
out.
that, the theme music.
Yeah, I love that. I love the score of that movie. Oh, it's so good. But Lindsay, you could pick either. You could pick a soundtrack, or you could pick a score.
Because I feel like I know exactly what Lee's gonna go with.
Go ahead.
Shocker. No, but I'm gonna go with nostalgia, and I'm gonna go with a soundtrack, and I'm gonna go with The Faculty.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love the music in The Faculty, but yeah, it reminds me of like being in high school and
Yeah.
and it has Shirley Manson on there. Like
One of the last times I heard
He
Lane
won.
Staley. You know?
what?
Lane
What'd you
Staley,
say about
class of
that?
'99.
Yeah.
They covered Brick
We
in the Wall.
don't need
Oh, yeah.
no education. Amanda from Aesthetic Star, Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack. That is one of the best metal soundtracks I've ever heard. It's so good.
Scream 3.
What?
I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Jesus. After I say Freddy vs. Jason, like one of the ultimate metal soundtracks out there, you got to drop Scream 3.
Dude, Creed, mother. Dude, there's two Creed tracks.
take me higher? Is that really your pick, CP? Scream 3?
No, my pick was Psycho, but Jerkface Tons of Fun stole it.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, no. Bernard, you know what? Friday the 13th, Part 6. Good old Harry Manfredini.
Yeah. I will say one that I recently loved, and Beth S. kind of reminded me of it because she said, Christine, Carpenter scores, I think, nobody can touch him. I recently saw Prince of Darkness and fell in love with that score. That is a fantastic score. So I'm not going to go with the obvious and say Halloween, even though that's one of my favorite scores. But Prince of Darkness has a great score.
Have you watched They Live yet?
No, not yet.
They Live has a really
I'm sure it
groovy,
does.
old school porn kind of sound to
Oh,
it
nice.
too.
Big ol' geek Vince. He brought up Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, that's a great soundtrack. And you might as well go ahead and say Night of the Demons. Those two, that's a great double
Yes.
feature for soundtracks. Oh,
And the remake of Night of the Demons, too. Was
that's
really,
my next
really
review
good.
actually.
Brain Scan has a really underrated soundtrack too.
What is it?
Brain Scan.
Oh, I've never seen Brain Scan.
That's getting a Shout Factory soon,
So excited.
Queen
like
of the
real
Damned.
soon.
Ooh, Lost Boys soundtrack.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Have you heard Marilyn
Trumpet Man.
Manson's new Cry Little Sister cover?
Yes, I wasn't a fan. It didn't
okay. I
have
thought
the
it was
same.
okay.
And I love Manson,
Yeah.
but it did not have the same. Like, it doesn't give you like the chivers.
Yeah, it's hit and miss. I think a better cover of Cry Little Sister is Seasons After. Look up that one. That one's a much better cover.
Okay. I have to write that shit down, or I don't have a
Seasons
pen,
After
so just
Cry
remind me.
Little Sister. That's
Use a makeup pencil.
yeah.
Yeah,
Write it
remind me
on your
later. I'll
face.
just write it on my phone.
Yeah, on your forehead.
Lots of room there.
No, I think I got everybody beat in the forehead department. The
That's
five head
just because.
department.
Never mind. Well, I have 5.
I got a 5. You got a forehead like a drive-in movie
Actually-
theater. What movie is that from? Come on, there's something about Mary. Jesus.
Oh.
Got a forehead like a drive. We had this one kid, Mongo. He had a forehead like a drive-in movie theater.
Oh my god. Okay, now I remember.
Those goofy little bastards are all I got crazy, are all that's left in this crazy world.
20-minute sax solo from the Lost Boys.
Yeah. Only when it takes me away from my real passion, working with retards.
Goodness.
Matt
And he's
Dillon
going to
steals the
hell.
freaking show. 5 kids, no rock. You just can't beat him. He's so good.
Dude, Harlan in his car scene too. Was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
man. It's I like when the camera's like you got like a crane shot and it goes all the way down to Matt Dillon's face and he goes fuck. All that money went into just getting a close up of Matt Dillon saying fuck. It's great, man. Okay, I'll go to the next question here.
Oh
Did I skip anybody?
no.
Okay, cool.
But we could probably talk about music all day.
Yeah, I know. I really could. I freaking love music. So, and music and a whore together. Oh,
Which
Trick or
actually,
Treat.
I also want to throw in Wayne's World.
Yeah, Wayne's World's a great one.
Good
Trick or
soundtrack
Treat from
on that, too.
1986. Cody will love me for saying that. Fat by Fastway, one of the greatest like 80s metal soundtracks, bar none. Yeah, Fastway.
Well, Cody's not here.
I know.
so-
I'm trying to fill in some Cody space. Okay.
Yeah, somebody was supposed to cosplay.
And
as
I'd
him.
appreciate it if you get off my fucking back about it. Okay. Okay.
You just yelled at me.
I know. I'm sorry.
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here?
5 minutes in the. Yeah.
Fucking Cody.
Something about Mary, man. That's so good. I love it. I love it. Okay. Josh Ellis says, so we all love Carpenter, Craven, Hooper, Argento, and Romero, and they have all made incredible movies. However, they have also had their share of bad movies. So in your opinion, which director has made the worst movie out of the mentioned group? So bad...
First of all,
Go ahead.
First of all, I do want to lay on the table. We don't all love Hooper. We don't all love Argento.
Oh,
Oh.
Wow.
Daddy yelled at us at the dinner table.
I kind of agree with him. I like all those directors, actually. So.
Well, yeah. Which are you speaking of specifically there, Brian, if not all of them?
Well, first of all, it kills me that we live in a day and age where if we're going to throw out horror directors' names and put them all in a pot as the classics, Hitchcock ain't even in there.
Preach.
It's just like, sorry, but kiss my ass on that one.
Yeah.
Second of all, Tobe Hooper, I've always thought that Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the biggest overrated pile of crap I've ever seen in my
Oh
life.
my God. Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. You just blew my mind.
And admittedly, while I've only seen one and a bit of Argento's work, I was thoroughly not impressed.
Whoa.
Oh my God. Oh, God.
Whoa.
I got to throw the mic away and run outside real quick. Jesus.
Brian, you need to see, what's the name of it, with the alien vampire chick who's naked for most of the movie. Hooper directed it.
Life Force.
Yeah, have you seen that?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to, though.
I saw about 20 minutes of it a few years ago, and I thought it was absolute shit.
Oh, it takes 3 different turns. It's
3?
It's quite a yeah, 3 different turns in the first 10 minutes. Yeah, no, it.
So it essentially goes in a circle?
It just yeah, thank you. It's a circle jerk.
Oh, people are calling for Cody to tag in Brian's spot.
Man, that's rough. That's rough.
Okay, well, you're saying Cody come in and tag Brian's spot, but Cody's just said Brian and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Again, so
Well,
Do I
actually,
need to get the fuck out
I
of
don't
here?
think Cody's a fan of Argento either. Like I don't want to speak for Cody, but I know he wasn't like completely impressed with everything Argento did. Whereas I'm a freaking Argento nut. I love the guy. Oh.
I'll say this about Argento. There's some really, really nice lighting in his films. There's some really great
Music,
practical effects work in his films. But that dude does not know how to tell a story. He throws everything in there, including the kitchen sink. Kind of just like someone's just... It's like a Jackson Pollock painting. He just throws it at the wall and hopes that something sticks.
That's a perfect example. It's more like a painting. That's because the last thing I'm looking at in an Argento movie usually is the story, because I just have like sensory overload of everything else, and I don't get that from other
physical
directors.
manifestation of an abstract painting.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Inappropriate music as well. I don't know if you've seen Phenomena.
No, I just ordered it actually.
Man alive! I just watched Phenomena fairly recently. There's this scene that it's kind of ominous. It's a bit eerie, and then this proper over-the-top rock synth soundtrack is like someone is on acid, and it's just like playing this music, and like that is not appropriate for this scene. It's completely the wrong
I would
tone.
probably like that. That's one thing I love about Argento is he kind of goes for the unexpected in, I guess his tools of the trade that he uses for his movies. Like you'll hear like a really crazy whacked out synth score in a spot that it probably, like Tenebrae is a great example of that actually. Tenebrae, I love the score in that, but it's kind of unconventional for a slasher movie. And that's again, that's one thing I just love about the movie. Lindsay, are you a fan of Argento?
Yeah.
Thank you. The
But
guy's a genius.
I may be conditioned
Yeah.
to enjoy his work because I grew up and my mom was a huge fan.
Right.
So I think maybe had I started watching them later on in life, I may see them and view them differently.
Yeah.
But because I started so young, and like the colors and
I'm the opposite of you, actually. I just discovered Argento's movies like a year ago, I think, and I just like fell in love. Like I've seen like 3 or 4 of them now. Every single one, I've just boom, boom, boom. I love it. Demons is one that he didn't direct. Bob.
Yeah.
But Demons, man, that's a great. We're talking about soundtracks and just an irresistible premise of being in a movie theater and all these.
I'm trying to remember. His one daughter is she in the second
Asia.
scene?
Asia
In the
Argento is actually in Demons.
Yeah, she in the apartment building, right?
Yeah, and that one grabbed me because you got like Motley Crue, like what's the, Save Our Souls from Motley Crue from Theater of Pain is in that movie, and I was like, oh wow, that's a song I never hear. You know, they usually go for the obvious, but Demons is a fun ride. I mean, the whole movie's in a movie theater too, and it's just like a bloodbath. It's great.
But I can see why people wouldn't gravitate towards it because it is like art, right?
It is.
So there's different tastes for it, and sometimes
Absolutely.
like it's the sensory overload that will turn people away from his work. But that's kind of what draws me in because I love I get bored if things are too straightforward for too long.
Yeah,
It
just pulls me in.
My eyes glaze over. So I love that he's constantly hitting you with new things.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I have ADHD.
That's what Suspiria was for me. It was like the perfect definition of sensory overload. There was just so much coming at me in that movie, visually, sound-wise. The score by Goblin is one of my favorite scores ever. Like, oh, it's so good.
Oh, you're hurting Brian now.
Sorry. Brian, you don't like the score for Suspiria?
I've not heard the score for Suspiria, but Goblin also did the score for Phenomena, and it was just highly inappropriate.
I can already tell I'm going to love Phenomena. I can already tell. Okay.
Oh, mate, seriously, I don't know if you know this, but Donald Pleasance is in.
I know, yeah. And Jennifer Connelly.
And he has the worst Scottish accent ever. Plays it Scottish. So.
It's shit.
It's shit.
Hey, it's shit.
But I guess to get back to the question, great directors with bad movies. I guess John Carpenter is a great example because a lot of his '90s fare was pretty like Ghost of Mars. That's a rough movie.
Yeah, don't like that one.
Nah.
I would
wasn't even
probably
the biggest fan of
pick
vampires.
John
So
I know Cody hates vampires as well. So.
yeah, I wasn't a big fan either. I don't know. I just felt like Carpenter got a little lazy in the '90s, and you know he probably deserved it, but yeah, it just I don't know.
He got cocky.
Yeah, he got cocky. I think you're right. Escape from L.A. is a good bad movie. Like it's so bad that it's good.
And the score on that one too is pretty phenomenal.
That is the
Deftones.
That's the only score that Tool is on. Escape from L.A. Yeah. The song "Sweat" that's off their first album. It's on Escape from L.A. Great song too. So.
Is Carpenter's last film still The Ward?
Yes, it is. Yeah, and The Ward's like a step up from Ghost of Mars. He's in the right direction, but it's definitely not like 70s and 80s. Like his scores even aren't as good as they were in the 70s and 80s. So it's weird. But he's doing the score for this new movie, so I'm really curious to see what that's going to sound like. Yeah. Maybe the wheels are getting greased now since he's been on tour and he's playing a lot of his stuff live. So maybe the ideas are flowing better. So plus, I mean,
Hey, Cigarette Burns was a good Masters of Horror episode.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh,
Norman
okay.
Reedus was excellent in that too.
Yeah.
Before all The Walking Dead.
Yeah. That was after Boondock Saints, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got me.
Any great director that you hated one of his movies?
My Soul to Take.
No.
You hated My Soul to Take?
I mean nothing. No.
It's
sent me
probably
that
one of
movie.
his worst, but it's still entertaining.
I liked
Okay.
My Soul to Take, actually.
I sent Lee my copy. I was like, yeah no, all set.
You guys want to hear something crazy? When CP sent me My Soul to Take, Wes Craven was alive. When it reached my house,
Oh yeah, that's right.
when it reached my house, Wes Craven had died.
CP, what'd you do?
Yeah,
Jinx.
so it's CP's fault.
Wes Craven said, "Oh, he did what?"
Yeah. Okay, I'll go on to the next question now.
I killed him.
Let's see. Which horror villain showdown would you like to see most? That's a freaking question that we get all the time. Andrew Schultz, I'll give you a shout out for that one. Any thoughts on that one, guys? Or are we done with that topic?
I'll just say one thing: Gremlins versus Critters.
Oh, Brian. It's a fresh take. I'll give you that.
I would watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Here's a good one. Cora Repetto says, any fans of pre-70s horror? I just reviewed Rosemary's Baby, actually, and I love that movie. And an obvious answer is Psycho on that. But, yeah, I mean, you got any pre-70s horror that you guys love, Lindsay?
Well, I mean, you named one, Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's a great one.
But, like a lot of, apparently you're naming everything that I was going to go towards. I was going to say pretty much anything Hitchcock.
Universe monster.
But, yeah, like, actually, what year was The Birds?
67. 68, 67?
Yeah, it was the end of it. The end of the 60s. So I'm just meeting the cutoff. But The Birds was one of my favorite movies growing up. So I watched that regularly.
Yeah.
Because Birds freaked me out when I was little.
It's a great film.
Oh, yeah.
Great film.
Any other ones, guys? Before I move
Universal made a bunch of movies in the 30s.
Yeah,
I
they just...
was never
I'm just going to say,
Universal films.
I was actually watching the 1931 Dracula tonight just before we went on. Because I've been gifted with the Universal box set on Blu-ray from a friend, and so yeah, I'm going to be reviewing all of those when I get back from Zambia. So.
Okay. Next question is from a good friend of ours, Dan Wolf. Love Dan. He's
Producer Dan.
But this is a good topic, actually. And CP actually left a funny GIF comment on this one. But are you ever uncomfortable reviewing movies knowing that some of the creators and stars are here on this page and see your work?
So that's it for me, guys. I'll take it easy.
I guess we could field that one like in general. Would it bother you to review a movie that you know that the person is, like, say, in Killer Flicks or something like that? Brian? No. Yeah, that's my answer. Honestly, it doesn't bother me to review a movie that, you know, I'm going to be honest about it. So.
Sure.
I had one happen with Horror Pack.
Yeah.
They had, like, one of their exclusives, and now I can't remember what it was called. That's how memorable it was.
Was it that Spanish movie?
No, it was like a anthology kind of film, and like I liked some of the premise of it, but like the basic idea was that they were supposed to be telling like urban legends, but then some of the stories weren't actually urban legends. So like I felt like I had to break down the premise of what an urban legend is. And I didn't really like it, and there was a couple of like nitpicky parts that I thought like they edited poorly. And the director saw it, obviously, because like Horror Pack shared my video and stuff like that, and he sent it exclusively for them. Oh, Volumes of Blood, that's what it was.
Okay.
And so yeah, he didn't enjoy that, and I can't remember, something came along at one point where he was releasing the second one, and I was just like, oh boy, should I even review this? But he said he reached out and he was like, no, like I really love to hear what you think about this one.
Well, that was cool.
Hey, please don't send me any hate mail afterwards. I don't have high hopes.
Any thoughts on that?
You do nobody favors by cutting corners and trying to avoid saying negative things about a piece of art.
No.
Yeah.
Well, people can only learn from their mistakes. Like
I reviewed a film on my channel that I was in. So I did a very small role in it. It was the film was made for very, very low budget, so they wanted actors who would do it for free and stuff. So I did it, went on the crew, worked a bit, and then when it came out on DVD, I reviewed it on my channel, and I was honest about it. And I said, look, it's good for what it is, for the budget, but the times in it when he tries to use humour does not work at all. The humor is lame, and I know the writer and the director of it now, and he's seen the review. I put the review out knowing him and knowing he'd see it. But if you're going to compromise on your opinion just because you want to fluff someone up a bit, then you don't deserve to be doing this.
No, you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah, and that's the thing about reviewing movies. Your integrity is everything, and But having said that, reviewers are people, and our opinions do change. Hell, mine changes freaking at the drop of a hat. But
nightly,
yeah. But I mean, everybody's opinion might change after a second, third, fourth, fifth viewing of a movie. I got movies reviews that I've done. I've done freaking 800 views, I think, and there's a few of those that, like Last Jedi. I gave that movie a Trapped on an Island. Now I don't like it, so it happens, So, but my first viewing, I'm gonna stand by that, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I thought about it. But that doesn't mean my mind's not gonna change down the road. It does happen, but you still got to stand by your word,
Actually, on a related topic, Lee, I have a challenge for you.
Okay.
I think you need to watch the first Unfriended and then go see the new Unfriended again.
I think you're right, actually.
Because I think you're going to change your mind on it.
Yeah.
The way that CP's been talking about it makes me think that you'll probably change your mind on it, because I feel like the first one will leave such a bad taste in your mouth that watching the second one, you'll be like,
that was great.
Oh, okay, this is better.
Yeah, it's currently ranked higher than Equalizer 2 for the weekend as far as Rotten Tomatoes score is concerned. It's got like a 58, and
it's in the middle.
Equalizer's
That's right down the middle.
It's got a 50.
Which surprised me. Like, I didn't know the Rotten Tomatoes score going in.
Oh, Lee.
And
you always know the scores.
No, I swear to God, I did not. And most of the time I do, you're right. But this time, for some reason, I just didn't bother to check. I didn't even know the movie came out until the day before. My wife told me, she was like, hey, you want to go see this new Unfriended movie? And I was like, oh, that's already out? Sure. And but yeah.
I think one of the worst things to ever happen to movies is Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I agree.
Without a lie, have never in my life ever gone on that website. Not a single time in my entire life. When people start talking about it, my eyes just glaze over. I'm like, why does it matter what that rating is? Like, who are these people? Do I recognize their names? Do I care about their opinion?
It has way too much power, too, I think. That's like,
nope.
It really does. Because there's people that form their opinions based on a rating on Rotten Tomatoes before they even go into a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can look at Rotten Tomatoes and go into a movie and still form my own opinion on it, but some people can't do that. So.
Lee, Anthony T's asking if you can put the name of our channels in your description.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will definitely do that.
Our channel? Who's Anthony T?
Mine is Cody Leach.
You know what? I'll go ahead and say it out loud so you guys can go look right now. But I always do that after the stream. I'll put the information below. But
he meant our names, not our, meaning him. Because you said our. I thought maybe I missed something.
Lindsay's channel is Mother Mayhem, and CP's is Will I Like It Reviews, which is a horror name.
It's Emily's Adventures in Horrorland.
Yeah. Right. CP's is Emily's Adventures in Horrorland. Sorry. And then
mine's Cody Leach.
Yeah, Brian's is Cody Leach Movie Talk. It's Brian Lomax Movie Talk.
or the excuse me for saying so, Brian, but the more intriguing channel of the two, the Movie Evangelist. Go surge that with subs and views.
Movie Evangelist. I'm gonna give you guys this next question so I can go over to my YouTube thing and pull up a couple of those questions.
Oh, I mean nothing.
So, yeah. Let me go. Let's see. Ian Morrison says the effect on increasingly secular world on the popularity of religious horror, possession, demons.
Yeah.
The effect of an increasingly secular world. I'm so confused by that question.
Brian's got it. Can you explain this to me?
Brian's got it.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. First of all, there's no evidence that we're in an increasingly secular world. There may be a case to be made that we are in ever increasingly secular media. I think a lot of the media that gets put out today is definitely of a more secular nature due to people going back to what we said before about people getting offended about every little thing that comes out. So, these days you can't mention, Christ in like some kind of belief system in a positive way. So, without somebody getting their knickers in a twist about it or whatever. So, so we start doing films of a spiritual nature where once like something like Jesus would have been used as a symbol of hope and a way to defeat evil, and I take you back to the Universal monster movies and the Hammer horror films, in which the cross, the symbol of the cross, was used to defeat evil. Holy water was something used to defeat evil. These days, you can't go, I guess, and this is what I think that the question is getting at, is that you don't tend to use those symbols as much anymore, because it draws a conclusion of a specific religion, i.e. Christianity, being the sole source of being able to defeat evil. So when you do a film of a more spiritual nature, you have to then come up with a different way of which it's defeated. And I think The Conjuring is a good example. Like years ago, if you'd have made that film, you'd have had the cross, you'd have had the mention of Jesus, you'd have had the holy water, these things of these elements of Christianity that would be used to defeat the evil. Where it gets a little bit of a mention, faith gets a bit of a mention, but that faith becomes embodied in the end of a woman's love for her child. So it's her love for her child that ultimately defeats this demon. So in that sense, you take Jesus out of the equation, that kind of thing. So I think that's what he means by it becoming more secular. Yeah. And I think the effect of that, I don't know. I think, like I say, I don't think that I think that just because the media doesn't portray that stuff, it doesn't mean that people are turning away from faith. And I think that just because people don't go to church that much anymore, it doesn't mean they're not searching. I just think they're tired of religiosity. They want something that's real. They want something that's, if there's a God, people want to be able to connect in a real way. They don't want religious behavior. So like I say, that I think that works its way into things like that. Why it may seem like people aren't interested in faith anymore, but I think it's just more internalized. And we'll see what happens, I guess.
I think the religious genre, it kind of hurts the movement too, because all those movies, or not all of them, but a lot of them, are very poorly produced. A lot of them are one-sided, and I think a lot of people just can't relate to them on a realistic or personal level. Like, they sound preachy. I think that's the biggest thing with religious movies, is they come across as preachy. And I
think by religious movies, he's talking about films like The Conjuring. He's talking about films like the what was the one with Michael Fassbender, The Devil's.
I can't.
Dick.
So things like that.
Shame.
The possession, the haunting, things like that. The Nun.
Would you consider Hereditary in that category there, Brian? Have you seen Hereditary?
I have. I've got a video coming up next week on, as you know, which is why I think you're pushing. I've done a video on my Movie Evangelist channel talking about essentially this question, which is, it's my take on Hereditary, which I don't really want to go into too much here, because I'm not here to spread the gospel. If you want to know my opinion on that, then go to my other channel for it.
And my checks.
I will say this: a lot of stuff happens in favor of dark spiritual forces, the devil, Satan, whatever you want to call him, in that film. And yet there is no mention whatsoever of his biblical counterpoint. So...
what about The Omen? Do they mention Christ or God in The Omen?
They mention him, but in the first film, obviously, the devil essentially wins. But if you watch the Omen trilogy, the original trilogy as a whole,
Uh-huh.
by the time you get to the end of part 3, you literally end with the Book of Revelation, with Jesus coming back, defeating the devil, and that's that. So yeah, but which I was quite surprised by actually when I watched that fairly recently, because there's no way in hell you would get that in a mainstream Hollywood horror movie these days.
Yeah. I'm going to go to one of the questions from the chat, actually.
Lindsay has glazed over.
No, I love the passion that I see Brian talk about these like religious aspects.
Yeah.
But it's a tough topic for me to talk about. So.
Well, this is a good topic for you. The Film Addict says, have you ever visited any haunted places? And me and Lindsay were actually just talking about that today. Lindsay, have you ever visited any haunted locations?
Like there's like places that like you look at and you go, oh yeah, for sure this place is fucking haunted. Mm-hmm. Like just like standing out in front of you, you're like, yep, this is haunted. But like nothing like a attraction of haunt sort of thing. Yeah. Like Queen, like we were talking about earlier today, I want to do like a cross the U.S. kind of trip. Yep. And I want to see like the Queen Mary and the Winchester House, and there's a couple of asylums that I know that you can like spend the night in. Yep. I so want to do that. A bunch of different things like that, and like that one road where the Lady in White originated from. I want to go there, but the closest thing I guess that I've done was the Nightmare Sphere Factory in Niagara Falls, and it was so much fun.
Well, there's 2 haunted locations. I guess I don't know if one of them's haunted, but 2 locations where I'd love to visit. One of them's the Villisca Murders House, and I believe that one's in Iowa. That's one of those that you can spend the night in, just because that story really freaks me out, you know. And if you don't know the story, it's in 1912, the year of the Titanic. There was this family of mother, father, and 6 kids, and they're all sleeping in their house. And then at 2:00 in the morning, there's this guy with an axe just hanging out in the attic, just waiting for them. And he goes with the axe and he kills the children first and then kills the parents. And then the case was never solved. And it's chilling. If there's tons of articles on it. There's videos on it on YouTube. And they made a movie called The Villisca Murders, but it's horrible because they tried to do like a modern day version of it, and don't even waste your time. I want them to actually make a real movie about this case because it's so interesting.
Somebody mentioned the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah, kind of like that. And then Dracula's mansion is one that I'd love to visit. Because I've heard, a friend of mine said he recently visited Dracula's mansion, and it was just insane. So I'd love to see that. What about you, CP?
I used to work around the corner from the Amityville house.
Yes, you did, yeah.
I'm 10 minutes from there.
Yeah.
What?
That's cool.
Yeah. It's just a house.
Regularly walk by it, or
yeah, there's a bunch. There's
at a certain time in the middle of the night.
No. There's standing water.
I would too. I'd be like
every
hanging
single
out
night.
there every night.
Yeah, no, they have a bunch of no trespassing signs. They get people daily. Like it's got its own wing of the police station. Like
I'm sure.
Well, they can't even keep it with like one owner. It's constantly up for.
Yeah. It's been sold like 5 times in the last 10 years or so. If I were the new owner, I just open the doors and charge rent. Like $20 a ticket. Go ahead, take a walk.
Well.
Pay my mortgage. Fucking A, man. You know how much money they can make in the month of October alone?
Oh yeah, big time. What about you, Brian?
Sorry, what was the question?
Any haunted locations that you would like to visit?
No. Because
Tiger Man's response is the exact same one that you just gave. He said, no, laugh out loud.
Yeah, actually.
It's just, as you can tell from my recent ranting, I believe in spiritual stuff. I believe that we don't just live in a physical realm. I believe there is a spiritual realm, and I don't want to allow those kind of forces.
Yeah.
I don't want to give any kind of leeway into my life. So
That makes sense. To me, it's like the thrill. I think that's what it is. It's just like entertainment. That's kind of what it is.
See, and I believe in them all as well.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
I think that's what intrigues me more.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like
I don't know, but I've always been a little bit of an odd duck. So
yeah, me too. So, here's a question from Carlos Manuel Mendez Godinez. He says, Scream 5. Do we want a Scream 5 without Wes Craven directing? Lindsay.
We have no choice if there is a Scream 5.
That's true. That is true. Next question. Do you want one, though, Lindsay?
harsh but true.
Yeah.
I don't think I could.
Really?
As much as I love that franchise so much,
Yeah.
like it was a dark time for me.
Yeah.
Like when Wes Craven passed away, like I felt that hard.
I'm sorry, it's my
Oh,
fault.
me too.
But yeah, we've talked about this before too, Lee. I have such like a soft spot for that franchise.
Yeah.
Because I watched those movies while I was in labor in the hospital on Halloween
Yeah.
with Tommy, and so I don't know. I love those movies. There's a lot of sentimental value there, and I love Wes. And no, I don't think I could see a part 5. I think it would really. I would probably pick it to pieces. I don't care
Yeah.
who they included in it. I would probably pick it apart.
Okay. All right. CP?
You'd have to be edgy about it. You might as well kill Sydney.
Yeah.
Like give her the Drew Barrymore treatment.
Yeah.
You'd really have to step out from the shadow there a bit. I'm not saying it's impossible, but why? Like, really, why?
Yeah.
My answer to that would be I would definitely welcome it. And I love Wes Craven. It broke my heart when the guy passed away. And I love that he did all 4 of those movies. I think that's part of the problem that we're dealing with here, too. Like, if he did just the first 2 movies, the first movie, it'd be a lot easier.
Plus, he wasn't like directly affiliated with the third one.
You're just trying to remember it as that.
Yeah. But he directed.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Did he direct the third
Yeah.
one?
Yeah,
Sad
he
but
did. He
true.
directed the
it
third
was
one. He
Kevin
directed all 4 of them.
Williamson who wasn't part of the third one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Kevin Williamson that didn't write the third one. Is that correct?
Yep.
He came up with the original treatment, the story, but then Aaron Kruger finished it off.
Yeah, but I would welcome Scream 5 just because of what Scream is all about. Scream is about the current landscape of horror, and it's a fun way to tackle all that. And I welcome that. I would love a new Scream movie where they make fun of, what's going on in horror movies today. I like what they did with 4 was genius. How they attacked the remake craze, which we're on the tail end of that now, it seems like it. And I think that's the reason why. I think there's always stories to tell as long as the landscape of horror constantly changes, if you get a good director behind it. So that's why, and I love the characters in Scream. Even the third movie does have some really fun and interesting characters. So I think
soundtrack,
CP,
too.
though, yeah, killing off Sydney that'd be a ballsy move, but I think I would welcome it,
Big Old Geek also, and I may slightly agree there, where he said I would watch Scream 5 movie depending on the writer and director.
Yeah.
And I think that I may be more open to it if I knew that it was somebody that was helming the project that was close to Wes. Not just like the generic, like the James Wan jumping in because he's the big name in horror with The Conjuring and all of that crap. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was somebody that loved Wes and loved his work and respected his work and understood his work, then maybe I might.
Oh, and I think any director's going to approach it like that, because Wes Craven, every horror director looks up to the guy. So I think they're going to...
I don't think James Wan would. He's
you think he
so
would just
full
do
of
his own...
himself.
I mean, of course he would do his own thing, but I think he would try to respect Craven in some way, maybe.
I want a Rob Zombie Scream 5.
There you go. No.
I think a good fit might be Adam Wingard. If you could get Kevin Williamson to come back and do script duties with him, and then maybe a way to go might be to, because like a lot of horror films at the moment are kind of doing throwbacks to the 80s. Maybe take the piss out of that a bit. Bring Adam Wingard in.
Adam Wingard would be perfect. Perfect. Yes.
You can't see me, Brian, but I was being facetious when I brought up Rob Zombie.
I Rob Zombie is the opposite of what the Scream franchise needs. So it just
is there a
wouldn't work with
facetious?
that.
Yeah. I'm full of fecal. Wait, that's not.
That's feces.
Well, guys, we're approaching the 2-hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up here. CP, what do you got coming up?
So I have this series that I've been doing. Why would somebody like that? Who would like that? Is what it's called. I don't even know the name of my own damn series.
Well, you've already had a couple of them.
Yeah, we did Irreversible, which isn't really a horror movie. Martyrs, which is a horror movie.
I saw that one.
And
I would say Irreversible is a horror movie.
Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart.
I love your intros on those on that series, though, especially with the one with Martyrs. I was like, oh man.
I spoke French.
Yeah.
I was
so
dubbed,
cute.
but I spoke French.
Yeah.
The next one is Salo, which, that's an interesting film right there.
I can't. I don't even wanna. Ugh.
Great cinematography. That's what I could say about it.
Yeah. Lindsay, what do you got coming up?
Oh, I'm not entirely sure. I don't have anything like necessarily planned right
Stop the
now
video.
because
Well,
I
know
don't like to
You just
promise.
put something out, though, right?
Yeah. I don't like to promise things because I don't know when I'll get the chance to do.
Just drop trailers. That's all.
Well, actually, tomorrow, and I don't want to promise anything, but tomorrow I have an appointment at like 10 a.m., so I'm dropping Tommy off in the morning, but by the time I'm done my appointment, it'll probably be his nap.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to wait until after his nap to go pick him up anyways, so I might be able to get something in there, and I kind of want to start, I talked about it the last time, like bedtime stories sort of thing, like talking about like urban legends, like the truth behind some urban legends, or certain serial killers, or like personal experiences that I've had and things
That would
like
be
that.
cool. And you could, me and you were planning something like in the future, right?
Are we? What?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yes, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
see?
gonna be reviewing Cabin in the Woods together, like in the future. So that'll be
Because
kind of
I've
like the
watched
way
it
I did
9
with
billion
Deborah Voorhees when we talked about Friday, the first Friday. I really enjoyed that format, and I thought, hey, maybe I'll do that with Lindsay. That'd be kind of cool. So
When are we supposed to be doing that again?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
we'll figure
So
it
we
out.
haven't set a time and I've
No,
forgotten
we have
it?
not set a time yet. So I'll let you know. Brian, what do you got coming up?
Well, you're leaving the
Not
country.
actually, because I'm going. So I'm off to Zambia next Thursday. This
wow.
Thursday.
That's cool.
I'll be gone for 2 weeks. I've got no content that I've kind of shot and edited for when I go away. So it's pretty much just going to be 3 weeks of dead air.
Okay.
So yeah. But when I get back,
Business as usual, you mean? I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry.
yeah, screw you, man. When I get back, yeah, I'm gonna carry on with my Hitchcock reviews and get into these Universal monster movies. I think. So.
Cool. I'm still chugging through my Patreon requests. I'm gonna do Night of the Demons, the remake. I think that's coming up next, and then I gotta do another Halloween. I think I'm gonna do Rob Zombie's Halloween Revisited real soon, and yeah, that's kind of what I got like planned right now. And I don't know what else after, but yeah, it's really busy, just constant go. So yeah, that's what I got planned. But everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. This was a really fun Scream stream. I don't think we had any audio issues this time, guys. I guess I'll find out after. But
The problem was Cody, I think.
yeah, Cody was the problem. I told you, there's never ever a 100%.
It's never me.
Yeah. So Cody will be back for the next one, though, for sure. And so it'll be all 5 of us. And yeah, I'm gonna make sure of that. So Cody kind of got sprung on something at the last minute, So we
The
just
choice of words.
yeah.
Alan?
Really bad choice of words, but yeah. But hey, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has a great weekend coming up. Anyway, toodles, everybody. Say goodbye.
Banana flavored edible panties.
Yeah. What flavor did you say?
Banana.
Banana. I like.